the Emerald, we say that our job is not only to speak truth to power, but to speak truth to those in our society who believe that they are powerless, reminding them that they are not and never will be.
The Emerald's beginnings are packed with late nights, a lot of work, a lot of dollars spent out of pockets.
So those first years, I worked part-time job that would allow me the flexibility to write as much as I could and report on things as much as I could. And I think our notoriety started to grow in that first year, that people started to think we were bigger than we were, and that we were some cabal of journalists and executives, or funded by some billionaires somewhere. And it's like, man, I'm living in my mother's basement and trying to just make ends meet.
Some of the challenges the first 3 years were, number one, needing space. And I'll always be thankful for the Collab, because they were one of the first places that let us have space. And then, of course, not having the funding that we needed. You had to, of course, pay out of your own pocket.
Founding the Emerald, much like any startup, but especially a media startup, is extremely hard. There are many people who told me at the beginning, this is just going to be a flash in the pan, that you'll fail. This is just going to be some newsletter that you'll do for a week or two and then realize how hard it is.
The South Seattle Emerald is one of the few publications where I can get news and information that is really relevant to my neighborhood and written by oftentimes my neighbors or friends that I know from the neighborhood. All of the youth that I know, all of the elderly people that I know, it's like completely intergenerational, can have a space where their stories are told, and are told in the correct way, are told from their voices and not from that kind of distant about them type of perspective. It's home.
I think that especially in today's time, the Emerald has become more important than ever. As we begin to lose trust in our institutions, it's especially important to have a lot of trust in something as important of a role of sharing the story of the South End.
The Emerald, we're facing sort of a watershed moment because we want to grow larger. We see so many other news organizations that are kind of retreating. Their staffs are dwindling, they're cutting back on their coverage, and we want to advance. We want to be able to step into that area and to, quite frankly, just be able to cover additional stories here in our area, because there are so many.
It's important for the community to give financial support because we want to be sustained and we want to be here for years to come.
Community media, it doesn't just make itself, it needs a whole team of people to put it together, to go find those stories, to bring those stories to life, and to share those with other people. And that takes resources, it takes money. People need to be paid, and we need to make sure that we are also doing things in an accountable way.
Our numbers have increased so dramatically in our readership. If we had every reader contribute to giving us $5 a month, or even contribute to giving us $50 a year, that would be enough for us to move to the next level that we need to ensure that the Emerald is around for years to come, and to be able to expand into the kind of work that we want to be able to do, to be even more of an asset to our community.
I think it's important to give financially to the Emerald, because it's important to show up for causes that you believe in, and the strongest causes are going to be the ones that we are willing to give to in your time, in your energy, and if you can, with your dollar. So I give at a monthly rate of $20 a month.
As we need more trust in our institutions, I think that it's important to also put my money where my mouth is and support those institutions.
I choose to give to the Emerald because it's important to me.
There's an African proverb about it taking a village to raise a child, and really it's the community that has taken ownership of the Emerald.